Today's podcast is brought to you by Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. When it comes to home and auto insurance, it's important to have the right coverage from a company and an agent you can trust. Someone who will help you properly protect the people and things you love most. So if the unexpected happens, you and your family can rest insured. To request a free quote, find your local KFB insurance agent at mykfbagent.com. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment. Hey, Matt, how's it going?
It's going well. It's a great week.
It's Christmas week.
Everybody loves this week. And we have the gift that keeps on giving.
It is Farm Bureau Santa here.
Farm Bureau Santa, the gift that keeps on giving. Tim Thornberry in studio with us.
Timmy in the house.
How you doing, Tim?
I'm good. Now, I'm not as Santa Claus looking as I used to be. I'm down about almost 30 pounds now.
You're like doing the opposite of Scott Calvin in the movie. You're shrinking.
Tim, it keeps us up. He's going to poof into thin air.
I could be the what's the guy on the commercial? The Slim and Trim Santa.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I'll call it.
Slim and Trim.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Christmas week. I love Christmas. It's the best.
What do you do for Christmas? Are you like a incessant traveler, like have to go lots of places? Does everybody come to you? Like what happens for Christmas?
It's kind of changed through the years. We used to, because like Thanksgiving in my side of our family is a big deal. So we do a lot of my side for Thanksgiving. And then we kind of focus on her side for Christmas. But even that's kind of changed a little bit. It's kind of morphed into where her parents come to our house on Christmas morning. We have a little brunch. And then we kind of go see others, or we don't, or whatever. Church maybe the day before, we'd kind of play that by ear to kind of figure out where we can make sure we can get that done. A lot of years we do Christmas Eve at my side. We've done that for forever, but things have changed this year. So I don't know what we're quite doing with that. So yeah, so it just kind of changes through the years. And traditionally wise, we wake up, things must happen, or my kids will revolt that Christmas has not happened. Number one, I have to eat the cookies the night before. My kids are teenagers and they still want Santa to eat the cookies. Oh yeah, if there's not a big bite out of a cookie.
You mean you're eating Santa's cookies? What's that about?
I'm sorry.
How dare you?
Come on
Santa.
now.
Breaking news.
Those are for Santa Claus.
That's right. Sorry, I leave him.
That's why he leaves you cold.
That's right.
Because
I ate his cookies.
He stops, and he's going.
Oh, so this is a good question.
They come out, they check that, they look at gifts, and they have to have cinnamon rolls. That has to happen every Christmas morning.
So as everyone knows, there's 100 of us Laurent kids. And so when I grew up, we had to all wake up on our own. You were not allowed to wake up your sibling. Everyone had to wake up on their own. Because when we were little, I think the goal was, for God's sake, get off of this bed and leave me alone until your sister wakes up, because the older one would wake up at like the crack of dawn, and then the babyest one would keep sleeping, and they're like, whatever. Well, the older we got, it was almost like this fun game of like, how long will they all have to sit here while your brother that's in high school just refuses to wake up, because that's not his first prerogative is to go see what Santa got. And then they made us go in the room in age order. So like the youngest to the oldest, and then we would argue and want to switch it, and then we would argue back, and it was a whole thing. So were your kids a free-for-all? Like, did they just get to run in and free-for-all it, or did you make them go together?
We really attempt. I mean, Santa really attempts to always bring exactly at least the amount of because we wrap it. Santa for us. Santa wraps our gifts.
Santa wrapped at the Laurent house. Santa did not wrap at the Carrico house.
Did not wrap at my house when I was a kid, but he wraps for some reason.
Those elves are just always changing.
For some reason he does it at our house and not at others apparently, but he does it at our house. And there's always exactly the same amount of boxes.
Same.
So that there's no complaint. Now one box might have an iPad in it, and the other kid's box has a pair of socks in it, but it's still the same amount of boxes.
Is equal. Yeah.
So then we do the bounce back and forth, and it's usually ladies first is how we do it.
Because you're boy and girl.
And he always is like, I was like, you get to go last though.
Yeah. Okay, Tim, your kids are pretty far apart in age. Did they do a lot of them together where they both had to run in there at the same time, or were they pretty much like at different stages of life where the oldest was like, I'm good, Austin can go ahead?
When I was a kid, there was no issue about getting up early. I mean, there were three of us, and we were awake usually most of the night. But my boys, they'd sleep till lunchtime. They just were waiting on the kids to get up. You know.
Yeah, when they were little, they'd get up at like 4:00 and they'd be sitting there. Like I remember one time I woke up and my 2 kids' faces were just looking at me, waiting.
That is so scary.
Wake up, and it's like, they're like, they like walked right past all the gifts because they know like we have to be up, and I'm like, yeah, give us. Oh my gosh.
Oh, so your house layout, they have to go through.
They walk right across. They're the most disciplined kids ever. They know they walked right past all of the goodness and came and got us every
I've never
morning.
thought about that.
But now
our house, all the rooms were on one end. So like if you crossed the threshold to the living room, you broke a rule. Yeah. Your kids crossed it to not break the rule.
To not break the rule.
That's discipline.
That's discipline. And then but now
that's great.
Since they've been teenagers, it is, hey, y'all know it's Christmas, right? You want to get up? Maybe like
cinnamon rolls are ready.
The cinnamon rolls are ready. I've ate 3 already, and your gifts are waiting for you in your terrible life. You know, come on out here and look at it.
When I was a kid, my dad was a photographer. I've talked about that in the Down the Backroads column a lot. Mm-hmm. But he also had. You didn't know that?
No.
They looked surprised at me.
We were excited that you mentioned Down the Backroads. Carry on.
Oh yeah. I'm famous for that. You know that. Anyway, so he also had an 8mm film camera, a movie camera.
Yeah.
Which was in those days somewhat new. But you had to have this really bright light on it when you're inside. So I remember we would have to line up and come into the living room with this big bright light that would give you a sunburn. And he would I say video it, but we were on video then. He would record it. And I remember us coming in and we were like, we needed sunglasses and rubbing our eyes. And it was a production.
Yeah. He had to do it one at a time. So he can catch each one of you doing it.
Came in and then the other and then the other.
Yeah.
And then it was so funny.
Yeah.
That's why Tim's not as scared of the spotlight.
That's right.
Because he grew up.
In
the spotlight.
Apparently,
It tells so much.
It tells everything.
One year at the holiday table, the Christmas dinner table, my aunt and uncle were there and their kids, and there was a house full, and it was a big table, and he was running the movie camera, and somehow he made each one pop in. We thought that was the coolest thing. Ooh. You know, that was before computers and everything. Somebody would sit down and he'd film it and he'd stop. Somebody else would come in and sit down and then he'd film it, and did that all the way around the table. And it looked like each one of us popped into the table.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Down the Backroads.
Yes.
I did. Sorry, it's a shameless plug. I know.
It's all right.
Well, this is a good day to plug it because that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Really?
What is Down the Backroads?
My Christmas gift?
Tim's beautiful voice. He's going to read a special Christmas-themed edition of Down the Backroads for the podcast, and we're going to just spice it up with all kinds of festive stuff. Austin's going to do his thing. Our tech brain, he's going to fix it up for us.
Little Christmas jingle in the background.
Yeah, some of that. Yeah, it's going to be great. What is Down the Backroads? For folks that I'm sure all read it, it is one of your more notable pieces of the magazine that you do. But what is it, just briefly, what is Down the Backroads, and what do you love about it so much?
Well, it's a column that is just sort of a recollection of some of the places I've been. Sometimes it's the people I've talked to. Some of it's just memories from the past. And over the years, we've done it for several years. It's just sort of, grown with a pretty good audience. I'm glad to say, but it's just a lot of fun. It gives me an opportunity to revisit some days gone by, or it gives me an opportunity to talk about something or somebody that I think would interest other people. In the early days, one of the first things I wrote about was the positive aspects of having an outhouse.
Now, if that doesn't sell this column for you.
Huge list.
Now, let me tell you
pros and cons.
That was that set it on the road to success, because when I was a kid, we lived in a house that had an outhouse. That's many, many years ago, early 60s. But it was fun to talk about it. And it was even more fun to hear the reactions from people. Yeah. I was in a museum, small museum in a county. I think it was Bourbon County. And at the time, my daughter-in-law was a director there, and we were there for an event and, just sort of casually looking around. And there was a lady there who introduced herself, and I introduced myself. And she looked at me for a minute, and she said, well, that name's familiar. And she asked me what I did, and I told her. Now, this lady was probably in her 90s, and suddenly she punches me in the arm, and she had a pretty good punch. She said, you're the Down the Backroads guy, aren't you? And I said, this is kind of cool, So it became a thing, and I'm just, it's a blessing to have it.
Yeah, and, I think it's neat. You write about your life, about things you've done, things you've seen, and there's always like a point. There's some kind of like underlying thing.
Sometimes I get on a little soapbox.
That's all right.
It's okay,
It's all right. But yeah, I think it's great. This particular one, I don't want to give it away, but I think we have a good question between the three of us. We can just kind of blast through this. I don't want to, you may not want to stay away from this one, but I think it's a good one for me and Renee is favorite Christmas movie, because that's somewhat
yeah, you're getting close.
Okay, I don't want to give it away because you're going to read it for the crew, for the audience here in a minute, but what is the movie you got to watch for sure every Christmas?
So, as a kid, it was always White Christmas. Love Us so much. Which we are like Bing Crosby Greatest Hits. That is the soundtrack. It's either that or Mannheim Steamroller when we're decorating the tree. Like, those are my mom's two, like, 1-2 punches. Like, if you don't Melika Miki Maka every Christmas, are you really Christmasing?
Here, watch your language, young lady.
So, we love us some Bing Crosby. I have two sisters, so at any point, no matter which one was living in the house or had moved out, we could sing the sister song.
Yeah.
And there were at least two of us there.
Right.
So, I mean, it was just a whole moment. As I grew older, though, it's probably Elf. And I know the non-Will Ferrell people of the world are like, that dang Will Ferrell. You got to give it to him. That movie is flipping hilarious.
It's great. Yeah.
And every elevator you get on, you think of that movie. I mean, it just comes up in your daily life. Besides Christmas, it's on TV 100 times. Yeah, that's my two.
I can't eat spaghetti now without thinking about it.
Without maple syrup.
Without maple syrup.
You did it wrong.
All right, what you got?
Without a doubt, I'll save it for Christmas Eve.
Okay.
Every year, and it's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. As a dad, like that movie was funny as a teenager. It's hilarious as a dad because it's at the heart of that guy is just to try to make this the best Griswold family Christmas ever. And I think we all as dads and parents try to do that, and then nothing goes right, which happens quite often. So it's a great movie. There's so many dumb lines in that movie. I laugh at it every time. I've seen it more than any Christmas movie probably, but it's a must. It turns on when we are preparing for Santa to arrive.
Right.
It's usually when the kids, they might stay up and watch.
Right about the time you're watching those cookies, wishing you could eat them.
Yeah, I look at the cookies and saying, hopefully maybe there's enough left over.
Can't believe you eat Santa's cookies.
So that one's probably the one. I love Elf. I love all the old school ones like White Christmas and
we have White Christmas on Blu-ray.
Ooh.
So
you're a White Christmas fan.
Is Blu-ray still a ooh?
Yeah, honestly, we just stream it every year.
And we never take it out of the player. It's the only one we have.
So the answer to your question is no, Blu-ray's not still a thing.
So
it's the only Blu-ray we have.
My wife asked me, "Do you think that thing still works?" And I said, "Push the button," and there it was.
There it is.
White Christmas.
Blu-ray, White Christmas. Yeah.
Of course. Now I'm very old school. There is a movie called The Bishop's Wife. It was made in the 40s And Cary Grant was an angel.
Okay.
And David Niven was a pastor, and his wife Loretta Young was his wife. And it's about the angel coming and making a difference for our family. It's in black and white. It's the special effects you would probably laugh at today, considering what we can see done on movies. But it's one of my favorites. And I caught it the other night. I happened to wake up. I don't know. It was on the weekend, and I couldn't go back to sleep, so I was flipping through the channels, and I said, there it is. There it is. So I sat up through most of the night watching that movie. It's one of my favorites.
Great stuff. So,
yes.
Okay, so tee up a little bit. What are we going to listen to? So we're going to have you read your Down the Backroads.
I am.
Give us just the title. Don't give the.
Well, it's I'll read the first line here, and I start out as like a subhead, if you will. Every time Rudolph shows up on television, I'm taken back to my childhood and our living room with my family, sitting in the floor and watching this beloved Christmas cartoon for the first time.
Excellent. Yes.
I can't sit in the floor anymore, by the way.
Well, you could probably get to the floor.
I don't know if you can
Getting up is the problem.
Getting down there is probably not the issue.
Yes.
You got a half a new hip. You got like one new hip. You can halfway get up.
Yeah.
Get a new hip for Christmas.
So my wife, she had me put the skirt on the Christmas tree at the bottom the other day. And so I'm crawling under it's a huge skirt and it's a big tree, and I'm on the floor, scooting this thing around. Well, she found it very amusing watching me get up. And the dog's jumping on me, and I'm trying not to shake the ornaments off the tree. And
that's the gift that she was really looking for.
It was, yeah, I'm glad the Zoom camera was off. No, not the Zoom camera, the Ring camera. That's what it is. Yeah.
We were just going to let it go. We were going to let him be a Zoom camera.
Well, all right. We're going to let's listen to this. What do you say? You ready?
All right. I'm ready.
Okay.
All right. Without further ado, we'll send you to Tim. I'm Renee Carrico.
I'm Matt Hilton.
I'm Tim Thornberry.
Let's get rural.
Welcome to a Christmas edition Down the Backroads. I have to make a confession, but before I do, I'd like to take a trip back in time to when I was no more than 6 or 7 years old. I remember as clearly today as if it were last night watching my very first Christmas cartoon, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. In those days, my family watched television on a 25-inch Zenith black and white. It would not be until a few years later that I would discover Rudolph in living color when we finally got a color television. That opened up a whole new world of viewing pleasure for me. But it did not matter at the time. I was enthralled with Rudolph and his red nose, which was just the beginning of my love for Christmas cartoons. There was a Charlie Brown Christmas, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol, and Frosty the Snowman, just to name a few. I loved watching these Christmas classics and would anticipate with excitement seeing them year after year. As I got older, my love for Christmas television grew into include musical variety shows with such greats as Bing Crosby and Andy Williams. And who could forget The Homecoming, A Christmas Story, which began the long-running series The Waltons. And no recollection about holiday viewing would be complete without discussing the movie classic White Christmas, which I have on DVD and will continually watch it until January. As much as I love this delicious banquet of Christmas-time television favorites, perhaps the one I seem to know completely by heart is the Andy Griffith television series episode that featured a Mayberry Christmas Eve celebration. Incidentally, it was the only holiday-themed episode ever produced for that weekly sitcom. It still runs today, as do many of the old Christmas cartoons. Now for the confession, though. I still watch and thoroughly enjoy these classics as much or more today than I did as a kid. There, I've said it, and I'm okay with it. And the great thing is, through the world of social media and streaming channels, I can watch these shows throughout the entire year. But I've chosen not to do that for the most part. I still enjoy the anticipation of the coming Christmas season, of which all these television specials are part of that excitement. Every time Rudolph shows up on television, I'm taken back to my childhood and our living room with my family, sitting in the floor watching this beloved Christmas cartoon for the first time. I can't actually sit in the floor now, at least comfortably, but it brings back so many fond memories, which are a special gift to me. As we approach one of the most sacred days of the year for me, I realize the true meaning of Christmas can often get lost in a sea of media specials and department store sales. So before we finish with the decorations, the gift wrapping, the cookie baking, and yes, the TV watching, let's give thanks to the good Lord for the real reason we celebrate Christmas. May we all enjoy a joyous Christmas and a happy New Year.
We wish you a Merry